Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new edition of 27 Outs. I, of course, am Ivan alongside Stefan. What do you think, guys? Things are looking different here right now. I know some of you are stopping by right now, and you're like, what the hell is this? Last time I was here, these guys didn't look like that. Well, we've been busy here. Shout out to Rick. I don't know if he's here yet, but whenever you do stop by, shout out to Rick, who helps us in a big way, I would say. Stefan would agree with that as well. But, things are changing. We've been getting a lot of traffic, not only on the YouTube, but on the Instagram, the TikTok, social media, period. Like even the Twitter. Like for a second, the Twitter wasn't really a platform where we got a lot of traffic. But if you would have asked me over the past week, literally everything that we are on, you name it, like it's been jumping. So shout out to you guys for showing the tremendous amount of love that you guys have been showing. As you guys can tell by the title of tonight's video, we're going to talk about the All-Star Game. We're also going to talk about the first half of the season, excuse me. And of course, more importantly, what to look forward to, right? Because we still have a second half that we have to cover here on 27 Ounce. And I'm sure you guys want to be a part of that. Also, I do know that the Home Run Derby is happening right now as we do the show, which is cool. I have it on mute right now. I'll be glancing at it every now and then. Stefan, I'm sure you'll be doing the same. But before we get into anything that, we would like to talk about, because we also want to have fun with you guys as well, right? Because our last two shows were interviews. Shout out to Keith McPherson. For those of you who haven't checked that out yet, go ahead and check it out. Either check out the full video or watch the shorts, right? It's really up to you. I don't know if you prefer the long form content or something shorter. Either way, it's out there. It's ready for you guys to watch. Also, prior to that, we did the interview with Micaiah, so you could also check that out as well. So it's been a while since we did one of these regular shows, right? Like the shows and the way that we've been able to get to this point right now. As I speak, we're going to get right back to doing that here tonight. But I do want to let you guys know that, I want to thank you first and foremost, right? Not let you guys know, but I want to thank you guys. I find myself doing this a lot, but, I never want to let the love that you guys and the support that you guys show us ever go unnoticed. I know Stefan feels the same way. He's going to have some things to share as well before we get into what we want to talk about here tonight. But, things are different now, man. Not only here on the channel, but Stefan, I don't know if you feel the same way, but for the past week or so, I kind of feel like anytime we get on the Instagram, there's notifications ready for us. You get on the TikTok, there's notifications there as well. So, that's nothing but positive for us. So shout out to all of you guys for doing that. But yeah, here we are yet again. Last show right before the second half begins. Let's get into it, Stefan. How are you feeling? If there's anything that you want to say about what I just finished saying, feel free to add. And, as I always say, get the party rocking, bro.
I'm good, man. I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of love that we've been getting, and it feels good. You know what I'm saying? To know that people pay attention, and we're getting people to come to the channel. So to the newcomers, welcome to the family. You are not subscribers, you are not followers, you are family. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to the family, and let's keep growing this thing, man, little by little. But uh, I don't know about you, man, but I'm gonna say something a little crazy. My life has changed drastically in the last 7 days or 8 days since we did this last. People blowing up my phone and congratulatory text, and I'm like, I appreciate it, but we ain't really do nothing yet. So the best is yet to come. That was a nice stepping stone for us, and we appreciate the love we received. But the work is only getting started from here, because as I love to say, if we love to work, so you know what I mean, the work is only gonna get more intense from here. We're gonna do more work from here. But speaking of working, we've been blabbering for too long. Let's get to it. Um, I'm gonna tell you, I may be in the minority with this, but can we please end all-star games? End them all, please. I do not want to listen. I understand the Major League Baseball All-Star game still has appeal, still has things that we like about it, and the stars do come out, and there's a lot. that you do see. However, if I'm being honest, I'm over it because I feel like it's not what it used to be. And the reason why, and you could call me the get off my lawn guy. Oh, yeah, old school. What the hell is this? Listen, inner league killed the All Star game for me.
You think so?
Constant inner league killed the All Star game because I used to look forward to. Damn, I ain't see the National League all year. Now we get to see them. Now you get to see what stars are on the other side. Where you're playing a National League team almost every couple of weeks, you're not really getting the allure of seeing them for the first time. Now, granted, I know this ain't the 70s and 80s, and every game is available if you have the app, bad app, and all that. I get it. But I'm an old school type of dude. You know, the fact that this kid, Jacob Mizorowski, made the All Star team, that's a joke. Dude's been here 5 starts. He made the All Star team.
So here's how I view it, right? And I like the fact that we're starting off like this because we're getting right into it, as we should, right? Like I said, it's been a while since we did a show like this. So I'm going to actually take a step back and disagree just a little bit. Not because I don't think the All-Star game isn't what it once was, because I do agree with you. That's definitely what's happening right before our very eyes.
Yeah.
But I don't blame Major League Baseball as much. Who I do blame, in fact, are the players. I don't think players take pride in All-Star game selections, how players once did. I think now what they really view it as is, a vacation, if you were to ask me. I think a lot of these players, they'd rather collect the check, the incentives that come with making the All-Star game, but not necessarily suiting up to put on a performance for the fans. Because at the end of the day, that's what the All-Star game is all about, right? So I think it's really the players. I do agree with you when it comes to the guy from the Brewers, the youngster who obviously made it. And when I first heard about it, I was taken away. Just like you, I was like, hold on. Like, you could have spoken to maybe 30 other guys, and no disrespect to him, right? Because early on, he's looking like a phenom. I'm sure the stuff is only going to get better. He's going to put on muscle. Like, I can only imagine what the future is going to look like for the Brewers after this season, right? But then I read something where Major League Baseball did, in fact, speak to like more than 10 people before they got to him with the invitation. And this is why my point really boils down to I really blame the players because all of those players rejected the invitation, bro. They don't want to participate.
I wouldn't either. I'm going to tell you why. I've been playing baseball for 3.5 months, 80 games in 90-some days. Get out of here. I want to go on vacation. I want to get away from it. Listen, I get it's not the proper thing to say. What's up, Rodney? We see you in the comments. Welcome to the family, brother. We see, I get it, right? Like, I'm not dismissing your point. You make a very valid point, but I'm looking at it from their standpoint. Like, yo, we've been playing games since the season started. We don't get a break. Now you're telling me on my break, I got to fly to Atlanta, do the Derby if I'm doing it. Not only do the Derby, I got to play in the game, and I can't really go on vacation? Why? I got a trip to Turks and Caicos booked already. You going to call me on some reserve tip last minute because this one bowed out, that one don't want to play, that one got hurt, that one, nah.
See, here's my thing also too, right? I remember once upon a time, there was a time where if you were selected to participate in the All-Star game, more often than not, if you didn't play, it was either because as a pitcher, maybe you pitched a couple of days before the game itself.
Right.
Or maybe you just so ended up with an injury, right? Which can happen.
Yeah.
And not to say that those things don't happen anymore because they certainly still do.
They do, yeah.
But the issue is like this many guys are saying no. Like it's just crazy. So like these dudes, as you mentioned, would literally rather book a vacation for 2 to 3 days, go wherever the hell it is that they want to go, enjoy the money that they're probably going to get for making the All-Star game without having to put on the performance.
That's a good point. My other thing is, Rodney makes a good point here in the comments. I'm sorry to steal your thunder, Rodney, but It's about branding now, bro. It's about, yo, let me go build their brand and let me go see what it's about. Let me go see who I can attract. Yo, I made the All-Star game, 3 full-time All-Star. Also, too, you know why these guys really want to go. The incentives in their contract. Sure, I get an extra 500,000, 600,000, $1 million if I make the All-Star team. That's why you want to make it. Actually going and playing in the game, I don't see where the allure is anymore. And also too, this is what it comes down to. It's a money making business, right? So you're gonna have me put on an exhibition. You're gonna have me do all this, and I still have to get ready for the second half of the season. Like this is where, to me, if
But
you,
I thought it was meant to be fun. Not, and again, I don't disagree with you, right? But here's my takeaway from this.
Mhm.
So I thought living out your dream was supposed to be the opposite of working a 9 to 5, if that makes sense.
You're right.
Right? When you work a 9 to 5, more often than not, and no shade to anybody, a lot of people are doing something that they genuinely don't wake up and enjoy doing every single day.
You're 1,000% right.
But and it's not to say that athletes can't have bad days, because I think they're human, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing that you like to say on the show, Stefan, is that we have to sit here and remember as fans that these athletes are human, no matter what we think about them, no matter how much money they're being paid.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, damn, where's the pride, man? Like, I thought like being named an All-Star 7 times, 10 times was a big deal. Not so much anymore.
Yeah, but also too, you know what it is too? They get branding deals away from the game. The problem is the game doesn't do a good job of partnering with these players, making it feel meaningful to go to Atlanta, making it feel meaningful to go to the All-Star game, making it feel like, yo, if you go, the exposure for the game is crazy, right? Like, think about all the guys that are not here. Like, you could argue whether Juan Soto deserved to make it or not, but come on.
By the way, I'm glad you said that, because his comments for me, and he didn't even make the All-Star game, as you mentioned,
right.
But his comment about the money that he left on the table for not making the game is what solidified players just only caring about collecting a check, bro.
Right, which is what it's had. It's been this way for a while. You know, we can't act like this is all brand new. Like, oh no, I really wanted to go, but yo, dog, you just wanted the 300, 400,000 that was in the contract, so you could buy a new Paddock Philippe. Like, you don't care about being out there, and it shows in the performance. It shows by the way they play the game, by the way they go about doing this. Honestly, the best part of the night is the derby, and even that's lost some luster. Where you're like, all right, derbies ain't what they used to be. You know,
right?
The allure of the derby ain't what it used to be. And here's how you know that, right? When there's no surge of the crowd after somebody hits 3, 4, 5. Remember when we were kids? Somebody would get on a roll and the electricity would build, and you were like, oh, wow, this is about to be an event. Where it doesn't feel like that now. What it feels like is, yo, the game is all home run or bust anyway. So we watch home run derby during the games, where there is no contact hitter. There is no do the other things. There are no, save your A swing for an advantageous 3-1 count. Now you got guys swinging, hard 0-2, 1-2. Don't care about the K. If they go yah, that's the job. You know what I'm saying? Where the home run is like the 3-point contest.
True.
It's kind of, you see it in the NBA all the time. It's watered down. It's not the same thing that it used to be. Like,
you see it on a daily, actually.
Right.
Like, in the NBA, every team is shooting 3-pointers now.
Yeah.
Right? Now everyone has an uppercut swing in Major League Baseball.
Yes. Looking for the launch angle. Yo, let's do this. Yo, let's do that. Yo. And I'm like, yo, dog, what happened to letting the power hitters be the power hitters and the rest of y'all just fitting in where you could get in? True. For example, I'm going to say this. I hate that Jazz Chisholm's in the home run derby. What are you doing in the home run derby?
Yeah.
Your game is about speed. Your game is about athleticism. You ain't a big hulking home run dude.
Right. And I know exactly what you mean, because I feel the same way. And it's not a knock on him, because I think he's an exciting player. I think he's a player that the younger demographic really caters to. And I think he's been well. I said this before on the show. He's been playing really well since coming off the IL. But when I look at Jazz Chisholm's game, like you said, he's not a guy who I think is going to participate in a home run derby. But, on the flip side, he actually is. So
No, and look, he got one home run through with like a minute 30 left.
yeah.
That's not his game. His game is, yo, I'm gonna get on, I'm gonna steal bases. If I run into one, then cool. The other thing is, I don't want nobody getting hurt doing any of this. I don't want you pulling an oblique. I don't want you hurting your back. I don't want you doing none of that. You guys are making way too much money for you to be getting hurt trying to do something it's an exhibition, right? And the last thing you want to hear is Jazz Chisholm pulls an oblique after home run derby. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear if I'm a Pirate fan, O'Neal Cruz out for 6 to 8 weeks because he pulled his intercostal because he was swinging for the bridge.
all because he wanted to win the derby.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like we have like David Wright was never the same after the derby. Never the same. It affects people's swing. Pete Alonso, when he won the derby, the second half, he wasn't the same. So people say, oh, well, you're taking such a negative stance. Because to me, when you pay these players millions of dollars and it's all guaranteed money, whether they play or not, I'm kind of out on the All-Star festivities.
Right.
That's why
now that you say that, I want to ask everyone who's watching, right? And for those of you who are watching after the fact, comment below and let us know what you think, right? Like, are you a fan of the Home Run Derby, the All-Star Game festivities, the All-Star Game itself?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel some type of way when it comes to, as we mentioned, somebody like a Jazz Chisholm participating in the derby as opposed to some of these other guys in the league that actually are home run hitters? I think it's a valid question, because while I do agree with you, for the most part, I would say, Stefan, there's only a couple of things that I do disagree with you, but ultimately I do understand your point though, for sure.
Right, and I get you doing it for the branding. I get you doing it because it's gonna bring you exposure. It's gonna do all this. I get why people do it. I'm not mad at.
And also, too, when you talk about branding, and Rodney, shout out to you for mentioning that as well. But I think a great way, and I'm thinking from like a content creator standpoint, right? So
right.
Our minds, since we've been doing this, are wired a little differently.
Right.
So like this. But if you're a player who actually gets voted in and you actually do show up, unlike some of these guys who did get voted in but just declined, listen, show up, like hire a camera guy, like vlog, like the
vlog
whole,
it
like,
all the way through, your whole experience.
What are you doing? Like, not only show us like the derby, the All-Star Game itself, but what are you doing out there in Atlanta during your free time?
For example, you know what I want to see? Because the fashion dude in me is like, yo, I want to know how you picked your suit for this game right here. What was the detail behind the suit that you picked? You heard?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yo, give me some detail. Why did you pick this suit for this event? Why the inside of the jacket says this?
And I know it's funny you say that because I know there's some competition. I know some of these guys
that red carpet,
with somebody else in mind, thinking like, "Yo, I gotta put something fly on because so and so he's gonna have it."
Yeah. And it's like that part I like. If baseball can have it where it's like, "Yo, show us what you win." What baseball should do, and this is my personal opinion, and this is my philosophy, baseball should encourage these dudes. Yo, let us follow you around. What I would do is I would take the 5 people that are in the derby and a couple all-stars and make it like a Netflix series where you take them, you're like, yo, 2 days in Atlanta. What was it like? You get up in the morning. When you get your cut, did you get it when you got to the city?
Or did you get it
the day before? Did you, you know what I mean? What time who did you meet up with? What was the first thing you saw when you saw Paul Skeens sitting on the other side? Like, what is your interaction like? Because we see them just play the game. We don't see them have actual relationships. And I'm going to use this word again for everybody that's in this chat. You have to humanize these players. There's a humanization that has to come into effect when you're trying, because they even said it. Baseball has a marketing problem. Baseball has a branding problem. How you change that and how you solve that is the idea that, you know what? Let's brand our game. Let's put a camera in front of Aaron Judge for the next 3 days. Let's put a camera next to Shohei Ohtani with his interpreter. Let's put a camera on Francisco Lindor, Mr. Smile, and let them speak for themselves. Let's hear what they have to say. What is it like being here? What is it like being at the Fan Fest? What is it like talking to different people, doing different interviews? Like Judge did Pat McAfee today.
Right.
What was it like getting mic'd up for McAfee? What questions?
I'm glad you're saying this too, because I don't know if you saw this or if any of you guys who are watching right now may have seen this as well.
Hit that thumbs up button for your boys.
And I know it's not related to the All-Star game, but just in terms of creating content and showing what life is like off the field. Just the other day, I stumbled upon the Yankees YouTube channel, and I was watching that video that they got of Jazz Chisholm. It was like a day in the life of Jazz Chisholm. Mm-hmm. He's in the studio. He's making music. He's doing all these different things. Yeah. And that's exactly what you're referring to. But more specifically aimed towards, these few days that they have off now this week.
No, not yet. True. Here's the other thing, too. What's up, TD? We see you, bro. The other thing I'm going to say, too, is, like, again, you want to humanize these dudes, right? So I want to know what's the first food spot they went to when they're in Atlanta, because you know that good Southern food. Somebody's hitting a barbecue spot somewhere.
Right.
Peach cobbler. What we eating? What we doing? You going to a spot? You know what I mean? You ain't gotta
I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't want to throw any names out there, right? But there's that. And I'm sure, especially ATL, had this been another state, maybe I don't think I would say this, but I also believe that some of these guys are probably out there to enjoy the nightlife.
That nightlife.
Yo, what clubs you going to? You know, what DJ you going out there to support if they are actually, at a club that night?
This is where NBA All-Star Weekend got all this shit beat. I'm going to tell you why. What got it beat is the idea. D-Rails, we see you. What's good, bro? What got it beat, Kenny Smith, they be talking about the after party when the dunk contest be going, yo, Kenny Smith, I got this one coming to the party. I got that one coming to the party. I got, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me.
Listen, I think any after party is a good party, especially if it's not a Diddy party.
Word up. Yeah, hey, well, you know.
As long as it's not a Diddy party, I think any after party is a go. It's a green light.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
What? Give me a hell yeah. What?
It gotta be one of those things where, like, yo, show us where you partying.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta show us everything, but show us you walking into the spot. Show what DJ's in the booth. What's rocking in there. Make it so that, I'm gonna tell you this too. You in Atlanta. How 2 Chainz ain't throwing an MLB All-Star Game party at a spot where you shutting the whole city down? Your MLB's here? Forget who they got. You call Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri ain't had a hit record in 12 years.
Yeah. I mean, for us, though, we definitely remember his prime because...
Yeah, but I'm talking about if you want to grow the game.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
If you want to grow the game, I'm telling you right now, that's how you do it.
Right.
Like, for example, you know what I would love to see? Who customized your cleats?
Right.
You know what I mean? What designer did you go to get these cleats customized?
That's a great point, because I know a lot of the things that they put in their luggages for the All-Star Game festivities, a lot of that stuff is more than likely customized.
Hector, what's good, bro? We see you. I'm just trying to get it to become a thing where you make it more adaptable for the fans that are trying to get more of a personal not a relationship, but get to know you a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And what baseball does a bad job of, and this is directly going to Rob Manfred, yo, dog, how do you not have somebody who's an ambassador for your game? For example, you know what I would have said? Yo, all the dynasty Braves, y'all out here. Chipper Jones, you out here. John Smoltz, you
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah.
Tom Glavine, you out here. Y'all
Andrew
outside.
Jones. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Mm-hmm.
Because what you want to do is you want to make the city become, like Trey Young. You out here.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Get everybody out here to the point where, like, now it's an event. You said 2 Chainz is out here. You said Quavo was out here. You said Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, Chipper Jones, and Andrew are out here.
Right.
Then you got Trey Young pulling up. He might pull up. You know what I mean? Somebody from, you know what I would love to do, because the hip hop head in me, yo, how is Ludacris not hosting this event?
Yeah, Luda should have been there for sure.
Luda out here with the Ludacris Atlanta Braves All-Star Game jersey. Like, yo, we outside. Little concert before the game. Get the crowd jumping.
You know what's crazy too? And who knows whether they thought about this or not, right? Because they probably did, but only to a certain extent.
Right.
But ATL has produced a lot of music, especially over the past like 25 years, I would say. I mean, ATL at a certain point, ATL was carrying the game, I would say.
Yeah, they were running it.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to say too, when you were talking about like trying to draw the attention of the younger demographic, I think this is an obvious one for myself, but how do you not have a big time streamer from ATL out there on the field streaming from like beginning to end every day, bro? Because that's what the kids watch. The kids are watching the streamers. They might not tune into ESPN for the Derby. They might not tune into the All-Star Game, but I guarantee you they'll watch every single thing that the streamer is doing while they're out there.
And that's why the NBA got baseball beat. Because you know what I would have said to Casanat? Yo, Kai, you going to Atlanta, my boy.
Here's a bag, come out here, stream for like 3 days.
Here's a nice little bag, and you're able to enhance what we're trying to do. You're able to get the younger demographic to come to Atlanta and come to the event. Like, you know what I would do? I would have Casanat in between innings of the game, interviewing people. Like, yo, what's up? Say what's up to the stream out here. And then what you do is you have Casanat all around the stadium. Like, he starts with some fans, you know what I'm saying? In the nosebleeds, yo, what's good? I'm just out here trying to get different reactions. How's the view from up here? He checks out the different food options they got, you know what I mean? And then as the game progresses, then you start seeing them get lower. You start seeing them do the different things that you realize, like, oh, this is how we grow it. Because this is what these young people watch. Casanat was all over the NBA All-Star Game coverage with the webcam, him and Shaq going back and forth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I believe they had even invited him for the celebrity game too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's a bunch of things you can do. Also, too, not because we trying to do this, but we should be in there next year.
Yeah.
Talking about, yo, we here. And what I would do is I would do that. Have a little setup where we literally sitting here streaming the whole day. You heard? Where it's like, now we bringing you in. Now the fans that are in the chat, they're experiencing it with you. What you guys think of that? Like,
yo, this is a little off topic. And by the way, shout out to everybody who's here right now. We are 30 minutes into tonight's show thus far.
By the way, what do you think of the new setup? The new setup. Well, let's get some comments on the
Let
new
us
setup.
know about that. And also make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. All three are rocking right now. So make sure you guys follow us at 27 Outs 3C. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up button yet, make sure you do that right now.
Yep.
And definitely subscribe if you're new here as well. As I mentioned, this is a little off topic, but could you imagine a streamer pulling up to like the winter meetings, bro?
What?
And a streamer like just streaming for like 24 hours, and suddenly they find out like something's happening, and real quick, like in real time, like you see them like, yo, we gotta hurry to this table because such and such is about to like.
Aaron Judge just pulled up. They outside waiting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, man, listen, yo, Major League Baseball, take some notes. Cut a check. I would like it, but take some notes.
You know what, Major League Baseball? I don't usually do this, but hold on. You know what to do. If you want, you know what to do. Hit us up at that email. You know what to do. We outside.
True.
Hit us up at this email. Anybody looking, any camera company, any Major League Baseball, you see us. Know what I mean? Like that's what it gotta be. We almost have to take it into our own hands to try to grow the game. Because the people that are trying to grow it ain't doing a good job of it. But let's get to these comments because I see they in here wilding.
Yeah, man. All of you guys are here. By the way, man, shout out to TD. Shout out to Rodney. Did I see Shrek in here as well?
Shrek was in here.
Shrek. Shout out to Hector.
In here.
There's a lot of you guys, derails as well, man. As I mentioned, at the top of tonight's show, it's been a while since we've been able to do this, right? Because we did back-to-back interviews. And, listen, the Home Run Derby is happening right now as we speak.
It's lit.
And we got you guys in here rocking with us, man. That's love. That's love, if you ask me.
The Derby is lit. This guy, Kyle Raleigh, just went stupid right now.
So let's see what we got here. A couple of you guys, we actually did already reference some of your comments as well. Oh, this is an interesting one. Shout out to Emilio. I didn't see this. Baseball players don't want that attention for the most part. We can't speak for all because some do, like a Jazz Chisholm. And some of these other guys as well, I think, are all for it as well. But you might have a point. Maybe that is why they don't constantly have a camera in front of Shohei Ohtani. Maybe that is why they don't constantly have a camera in front of Aaron Judge. I mean, I could be wrong, but that Emilio brings up a valid point,
That's a great point, but that's also what's wrong with the game.
True.
What's wrong with the game is the idea that you think these NBA players want cameras following them all around the arena, all around the court, all around everywhere? No. But you got to put the league first. And this is part of why, boys and girls, we're headed for a lockout. Because I'm sorry to say it, that's part of why the sport is suffering. Because these players don't want to be marketed for the most part. They don't want to be disturbed for the most part. Yo, dog, you're not curing cancer. You're not a mad scientist. You play baseball, my boy. What you mean you don't want to be disturbed? You're in the entertainment business.
Right.
If it wasn't, and usually I'm not like this. Usually I take the other side because you know how I feel about, you know how I feel. You're in the entertainment business. If it wasn't for fans that fill up these ballparks, that go to these games, if it wasn't for people like us who love the game, you would just be another sport.
Right.
So you need to start to recognize fans are important.
And also fans are also the main reason why you're able to earn the kind of money that you earn today.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And the other thing that I'm going to say too is the idea that we wonder why the television ratings have been down across all sports, because you know what it's starting to feel like? The fans are being taken advantage of, in a sense. Like, they'll still watch no matter what we put out there. They'll watch, right? The NBA is the prime example. Even baseball is a prime example. Outside of last year, where those ratings in the World Series were nuts. But
yeah,
I think that they don't do a good job of like servicing the fan base in terms of, even, I'll say this too for the record. We said this a couple days ago. I'm going to be honest. Like, why was that Giants-Dodger game on Roku TV yesterday? Why was it ESPN truck not out there going, yo, cover this game?
Right.
It's Dodgers-Giants. It's the game before the break.
Well, to Major League Baseball's defense, because I do agree with you, Stefan, I certainly believe that it should have been on a platform that people are more aware of, at least. But Roku, if you know it, it actually comes like with its own channels. So
Right.
that game was free technically, if you really think about it.
That's fair.
Right,
But
right.
what I'm trying to tell you is how many people actually have the Roku channel that sat there and said, "Yo, let's watch this game."
Yeah, not a lot of people know about it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers. Put the game on ESPN. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Right.
You know? And I just think that baseball is just dropping the ball on a lot of things. You know, design opportunities, marketing with different brands. Like, how do you not? I said this last year. How do you not have a brand with Oakley, the sunglass company? How are you not teaming up with New Balance? You got Otani's on New Balance, Lindor's on New Balance. How does Major League Baseball not collaborate with these brands and say, "Yo, let's elevate, let's get bigger, let's grow the game," so that the kid that's trying to figure out whether he likes baseball or not, but he likes Otani, what cleats is he wearing? What sneakers is he wearing? Oh, they're available? All right, I'm gonna go to the store and cop them right now.
Yeah. You know, that's a great point, because I don't think footwear or clothing when it comes to baseball is comparable, especially when you look at basketball, right? Like when a basketball player debuts a sneaker, like everybody wants them, especially if they're a hot commodity, right? Like I know not for all athletes, but I'm sure like Anthony Edwards and his deal with Adidas. You know, obviously there's some guys like LeBron, KD, but people have been supporting guys like that for years, right? But I do agree with you where you gotta like these endorsement deals. Like, yeah, these players do deserve them, but the game also needs to do a better job at getting young kids to wanting to put that on their feet, to wanting to wear the same batting gloves that some of their favorite players are wearing. You know,
like the Griffies are timeless.
Griffies are fire. I personally would never wear them because they're bulky. They definitely are. That's a bulky shoe. But if you were to ask me, yo, what do you think the Griffies like look like? Do they look good? Do they look bad? I think the Griffies are fire.
Those Griffies, though, listen, you can say they bulky. Put them on my feet. Right pair Griffies with the right get up.
Right. Well, you know what it is too? Like, not only are they bulky, but it's also a high top. And the only high tops that I personally wear are the Jordan 1s. But that's a lot of people. You know, a lot of people, they rock with the Jordan 1s. But you see, the thing is, though, with the Griffies being a high top, with it being a bulky shoe, they still went crazy for them regardless.
Yo, dog, right now, I'm looking for his Seattle Mariner Ken Griffey Jr.'s. Right now, I'm looking for them. Right now.
I know what colorway you're talking about.
And it's like, yo, I hear what you're saying, but little insider jokey joke, I don't walk, so they could be bulky all day.
Right, they don't bother me. You
know what I mean? I'm just saying it looking good for the style part of it. Now, I get it if you don't want to wear it to play in a game or do all that, but like make it so that you got Ken Griffey there. How you don't got a partnership with a camera brand that Griffey's associated with? Because Griffey's a professional photographer now.
Right.
What are we doing?
I think Randy Johnson is also one too, right?
Yeah, he does. They do the same thing. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. It's crazy, man. Like, these guys have already lived a life that people would die for, literally. And here they are, like like a completely different, career. Because obviously cameras are being used in baseball, right? But these guys are no longer athletes, If anything, they don't even want to pick up a bat, a glove, a ball, whatever it is. So the fact that they're good at what they're doing now, after playing baseball and for being as good as they were for however many years, I think that's amazing, for real.
Razor makes a good point. That last comment. Put that last comment up here, Ivan.
Let me see.
That's a great point.
Major League Baseball doesn't do a good job marketing players or the game. They are completely out of touch, but the players ain't encouraged to do it either. That's a good point. But you see, And I think we talked about this about a week or two ago.
Mhm.
But Stefan, you mentioned somebody who's now a former player, but it hasn't been too long since he last played. Trevor May. Like, you don't gotta necessarily wait on Major League Baseball to put a camera on you.
You can do the.
You guys are millionaires. You guys could go out there and get the top-notch equipment, hire a crew. If we're really being honest, if you're serious about this craft, you could do it yourself.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Why is the celebrity game played on a Friday that nobody sees? And it's like, hold up. You got the celebrity game. You're not doing nothing for the weekend. Why is this celebrity game not on TV? Bad Bunny, CC Sabathia, all these celebrities and athletes. Yo, broadcast this game live, B. But we'd rather do the draft. Do me a favor. Get the MLB draft out of here. Put it in the offseason, please. I don't need to see these players be drafted right now. I don't. You're doing it, first of all, you're doing a disservice to the draft because nobody even knows it's on unless you're a baseball fan who follows the game. Like, was anybody following the draft? No, because everybody knows, it's All-Star Weekend, the derby's coming, the game is Tuesday. Oh, the draft is on.
Well, let me ask you this, right? Because I don't want to play devil's advocate because I do agree with you. But, I am also wondering, does Major League Baseball do that because they don't want it to interfere with the school schedule, right? Like, a lot of these athletes are getting drafted fresh out of high school, fresh out of college. And typically, the school year doesn't usually end until around this time, if not maybe a month or two prior, depending on where you live. I don't know if that's, a part of the thinking and why they do it now, as opposed to in the off season when they're in the middle of taking classes, in the middle of prepping for the season. But I get your point.
So here's the thing. I would understand your argument if you were going to the draft. 98% of these players don't even go to the draft.
Mm-hmm.
They have draft parties. They're home with their families. It's not like they're traveling to wherever the draft is. You're not traveling to Atlanta. You're home with your family. What I would say is put the draft in the off season because it gives baseball a night where we can literally sit here and say, who's the next Paul Skeens? Who's the next Mike Trout? Who's the next? You know what I'm saying? And it's like you start to bring different eyes. Also, too, I'm leaving the get off my lawn portion of the show because I want to get to these comments because it's crazy in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other thing I'm thinking is I really wish there was a way. The reason why I would be able to put the draft in the off season is because I want to be able to trade draft picks like they do in the NBA. This draft pick was a part of this trade. This player went to this team and they got back the number one pick because they didn't know who they were going to take. Make it more, you know what I mean? The off season is slow as it is. So if you add another must-see event like, the draft is in the off season, all right, who's the next Manny Machado? Then we start to look at, how these dudes perform this year. Because you don't even, like, the College World Series, we go through it, right? They have their moment. We don't even know who won the College World Series except for in passing because it's during baseball season.
Right.
Right after the College World Series ends, maybe, when I would have the draft? I would have the draft right after the World Series. Have the draft. Let the draft be the thing that starts the offseason. Because then you're going to have teams that are like, I'll trade for this pick. My season's done. I'll trade for that pick. I'll take a gamble on this player. Because now it's open. And now you can start to get, they traded for the number one pick. Who'd they give up? You know what I'm saying? They traded for the number 2 pick. They moved down. Now it becomes an event.
See, but here's the thing, though, too, right? Going back to my whole point of scheduling and when school starts versus when it ends as well. You got to remember, too. So let's say a player who is on the verge of getting drafted, right? Let's say he's entering his senior year, whether it be in college, whether it be in high school, because as I mentioned before, you could get drafted both ways. It's all up to you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do it then, you miss out on their senior year. College, maybe you could get away with that because at that point, you already saw them for 3 seasons.
How you figure
freshman,
that?
sophomore, and junior year. But think about it from the standpoint of high school, bro. They don't play that early. They don't play till, if anything, earlier the following year, which is a few months after the school year begins. So imagine this. Are you really going to miss out on a kid that's 16, 17 years old, his senior year? You get what I'm saying?
No, because you're not.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but you miss out on their final season to, guess, at least stamp why they should be.
But don't you graduate?
Getting drafted.
Don't you graduate in June?
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So you play games. When do they play games?
Well, I'm talking about for the next class because you're talking about the end of the year, bro.
They don't draft juniors in baseball. There's no juniors coming out of high school to go to the draft.
Right.
They're taking seniors anyway. So you graduate your senior year.
Okay, I got you.
And the following year, you don't really miss none. You're not. They don't reclass you.
Right.
And say, yo, it may be different a little bit for college kids where you get reclassed, but you're not getting reclassed as a senior in high school. It is what it is, right? Like, what I'm saying is the draft being right now does a disservice to the sport because people like me who like to look at young kids play, who like to study their game, who like to do all that, I think you do the draft a disservice by having it now. Also, these kids don't get the kind of exposure they would get if you did it during the off season. You're like, where'd you go to school? Let's look at this kid's tape. Let's break them down. Let's have a real conversation where you're not talking about just him being drafted in the middle of the year. I don't know. That's just me.
I get it. No, for sure.
This chat is crazy, bro.
Let's see. By the way, friendly reminder, I did see this comment here by Rick. To anybody who's new here, and even if you're not new, how do you guys feel about the new graphics? I know some of you guys have said something already, but keep that in mind for those of you who haven't said anything yet. We love it. Shout out to Rick for helping us put this together behind the scenes. We really appreciate it. But also, we do this for you guys at the end of the day, right? So let us know what you think, right?
Oh, we got Yankee Met beef. We got Yankee Royal beef.
Yo,
it's active out here in these YouTube streets.
This is a good point here. They really waste the celebrity game. Absolutely,
1,000%, 1,000%, for sure, man.
Shrek, we did talk about this a little earlier, but we were asking ourselves the same thing.
Yeah, why is he even in Derby?
And that's as Yankee fans, because you know us. But Jazz Chisholm isn't really the guy who you would want to put in the same sentence as home runs, a home run derby.
Nah, yeah.
Or maybe because we talked about it when it comes to other guys. Maybe Jazz was one of those guys that Major League Baseball came to after maybe others already said no. Could be that.
Yeah. That's
we don't know, but
that's a good point. How am I feeling about your Red Sox, TD? I'll answer this question real simple and plain. That's a very good baseball team. And I'm going to tell you this for the record. Don't dismiss what they're doing in Boston because they put it together. So Don Raffaella has been amazing this year. This guy just threw a complete game shutout the other day. Garrett Crochet was electric on Saturday.
He did,
so, listen, the Red Sox are legit. The one thing I will tell you is...
What is it, like 10 in a row right now, right?
Yeah, the one thing I will tell you is you can't waste this, right? You can't waste this. So what I mean by that is if I'm the Red Sox, you know what I'm going to go do? I'm going to make a splash. I'm going to get somebody. For example, if it's me, I'm going to put a Manuel Clase in the back of my bullpen. Today. Not tomorrow, today. Because now if you start to ask me, or if you're the Red Sox, you want to go get Ryan from the Twins along with Duran and make it a package deal where you get a closer and a starter in your bullpen and your rotation, I would do that too. The teams under the most pressure right now to make a move, I have 4. I want to know what you think of this. Chad, I want to know what you think of this too. I got the Red Sox, I got the Yankees, I got the Mets, and I got the Brewers. Well, why you say those 4 teams? Well, real simple. The Cubs too, if you want to add the Cubs. 5 teams. The Cubs too. Because I think the Cubs need pitching. Mm-hmm. I will tell you, the Red Sox are legitimate. And let's not poo-poo the fact that they're doing it comeback fashion. They seem to get off the mat. You think you count them out. This will be the – listen, those kids came up and rejuvenated them.
Yeah.
Roman Anthony has come up and rejuvenated them. In his last 37 games, I think he's hitting close to 300. You know? And maybe that's what they needed. And listen, maybe the Devers trade was the thing that sparked them. Because at the time, we were looking at that front office like, you guys are lost. But
for a while now, and shout out to TD and some of the other Red Sox fans who tune in.
Phillies too, D-Rose, I see you.
People have been saying like he was indeed a cancer in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
So now that he's not there, he's with the Giants instead.
Yeah,
I think it might be safe to say that that might have been right all along.
They might have been. And listen, some things I said this to you too. When you got younger players who are impressionable, you don't want to have a guy that's just moping around, just collecting his money. He really don't want to be there. He's not putting in the effort. He's not trying to do what's best for the team. He's just doing what's best for himself. Right. And ever since they traded Devers, they've taken off. And what I will tell you is the other thing, right? You can't discredit the job that front office has done to rebuild. That Garrett Crochet signing looks like a home run.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah.
Even the trade even the signing for Lucas Giolito looks like a bit of a home. He's pitched better for them lately. He's been much better coming off the second year after the injury. Like they got Brian Bale, I think is a kid with tremendous stuff.
If you would have asked me, I actually think the Red Sox won the offseason. Signing extending Garrett Crochet.
That's hard to argue.
Also bringing in Aroldis Chapman, who has been really good, who, by the way, he's getting up there in age. If I'm not mistaken, I think Chapman is probably like in his late 30s now. He should be.
And that's why I would say.
And then the icing on the cake is the most obvious one, the Alex Bregman signing.
Alex Bregman's been amazing. He came back way faster than we thought he was going to from this injury.
And he didn't even go through a rehab assignment. Like he
came right back.
Welcome back. On some May shit.
He came right back. And look, listen, if I'm the Red Sox, I'm going to attack the weaknesses. I need a starter in that rotation. I need a bullpen piece. Like that's why I'm calling the Twins and saying, yo, what are we doing? Also, too, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to hear nothing from any of these fans that are, we're only 4.5 back of a wild card. Don't care. Give up the jokes, bro. Y'all not winning the World Series. Twins, come off that. Let's go. Enough. Duran, Ryan, whatever else you got to come off. By the way, somebody go trade for Byron Buxton, too. Get that boy out of obscurity in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's actually he's been pretty healthy this season. So.
He's balling.
And it's showing, too, in the numbers.
He's balling. What I will tell you, the other guy that I'm looking at, and I connected these two dots a couple weeks ago. I think Eugenio Suarez to the Yankees is a perfect fit. Now, there are other teams that are calling. The Phillies have called. There's other teams in the mix for him. So there's not just going to be a one thing that gets it done. There's going to be a bunch of things that are going to have to happen for the Yankees to line up and get something done. Because to me, there's other teams with better prospects that can do something. For example, I'm going to say this. I don't know if it's the perfect fit or not, but I'd say watch the Cubs and Suarez. Watch the Cubs and the Duran. Watch the Cubs do something. And the Cubs need pitching as well. So let's just say for argument's sake, and I'm not saying this is realistic or not, but if Dylan Cease is available at the trade deadline, the Chicago Cubs might go get him.
Mm-hmm.
They're one Dylan Cease away from me looking at the Cubs and going, okay. Matthew Boyd, Imanaga. Now I can look at you and go, oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got the pitching to match up with Milwaukee, and you know your offense is good.
Yeah, I mean their offense is in a different stratosphere when you compare it to the Brewers and what they have. I did want to add something, now that we're talking about, what to look forward to with the first half of the season being over with. Speaking of, Eugenio Suarez and the Diamondbacks, I was reading something about a day or two ago. So the Diamondbacks, apparently, I read, are moving on from a few guys. They've got a few guys who are bound to be free agents after the season. Eugenio Suarez is one, Zach Gallen, Merrill Cully, Josh Naylor. So the Diamondbacks, and not to say that other teams don't have pieces that other teams are looking for, but the Diamondbacks, they could help out a couple of teams.
I said this like a couple weeks ago on the show. For those that weren't here, to me, this deadline is going to come down to 3 teams: Arizona, the Orioles, and the Twins. Those are the 3 teams right there that can make or break somebody's deadline immediately. Because what's going to happen is the Twins got the relief pitching that you want, right? Duran's back there. The Guardians, too. If you put Clase on the market, you're selling. I'm going to say something absolutely crazy right now. If you're going to trade Emmanuel Clase, why is Jose Ramirez even there?
True, yeah. We were already thinking that. It's been over a year now since we've been talking about that, but you're right.
If you're really going to sit there and say, well, we're going to trade Emmanuel Clase, he's under club control, I think, for the next 2 seasons. I could be wrong about that. I think it's 2 or 3 seasons. But if you're going to trade him, like Jose Ramirez, there's no reason for him to be there. Sorry, Guardian fans. Like you feel like you're entering a mini rebuild.
Yeah, Clase is under contract until 2028. He's got 2 club options in 2027 and 2028.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. If you're the Guardians talking about maximizing value, you gotta do it. Jose Ramirez should be the first one I'm taking calls on if I'm Chris Antonetti, because the Guardians farm system is not in the greatest of shape. Manzardo's a nice player. Stephen Kwan's a nice player. Jose Ramirez is your only impact back. If you really want to start this rebuild, start it all over again, trade him at Clase and let's get this moving.
Right.
Because you can't continue to say, well, maybe we'll kick it down the road. The Tigers ain't going nowhere. And the Tigers may turn around and add too. Tigers are looking for pitching. Casey Mize is not pitching well. He got rocked the other day. He's been bad his last 4 starts, right? And it's like, Schoolball's great, but you lost Jackson Jobe to a Tommy John. Your rotation's a little short. You throw a lot of bullpen games. I'd consider doing something for a starter if I was the Tigers. To me, the Red Sox too, and the Red Sox, the thing about the Red Sox is you got to capitalize on this momentum, right? So you know what I would do, because I'm a sick individual. Like, I'm twisted in the head. I'm going to get the ace that's out there. Like, if I could partner Dylan Cease with a Garrett Crochet, and then Bale moves down, and this one moves down. Now you're 1-2 punch. Now you're ready for the postseason.
Right.
Now you're ready to take that next step, right? Like, same thing with and if the Nationals decide that Mackenzie Gore is available, because their front office completely changed. If Mackenzie Gore is a sniff of available, I'm going to get Mackenzie Gore.
You think so? I don't really see. I see the Nats, I think, just staying in place with what they have, for now. But
I won't rule out anything, because you just fired your entire front office and your manager and general manager. So I'm not going to rule anything out. As crazy as it sounds, right now, if you're the Nationals, you might be in a position where, you know what? Maybe we do trade a Mackenzie Gore to recoup some assets to start to get this rebuild going in a proper direction. Where, listen, James Woods ain't re-signing there. Sorry to tell you, National fans, but he's gone in the first thing smoking the moment he's able to get the hell up out of there.
Well, I would hope so, because there's guys right now, for example, the All-Star Game festivities are being held in Atlanta. There's some
Mhm.
guys who do play for the Atlanta Braves who did end up signing for a little less than they should have. I'm just saying, not to say that I don't believe that James Wood could end up elsewhere, because I do think that he will do that, and I hope that he does that, right? He seems like a smart guy, or at least I would hope he's a smart guy.
He's a Scott Boras client. He's a smart guy.
Right. Okay. So you see that right there makes more sense.
Yeah. Yo, let me ask you, chat. Let me ask you guys a question. What would be one trade that you'd want to see? It doesn't have to be realistic. We could go fantasy. I'm cool with that. Give me one fantasy trade y'all like to see for your teams that you root for.
Yeah, that's a good point. I see who was it here? Shrek. He pointed out that the Royals statistically have the second easiest schedule left. So what do the Royals do? Right?
Yeah,
Like,
what do they do? Do they go
Royals, I'm gonna be honest, like coming into the season, I already have the Tigers as the favorite in the Central. But I didn't think the Royals would be this far back, man. Like there's a decent gap between the Tigers and the rest of that division.
Decent gap. It's significant. What is it, like 10 and a half, 11 games?
It's 10 plus, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a significant gap from the standpoint that we're not just sitting here talking about, 7, 8 games. Even that's significant. I'm talking about 10 plus games now. And
yeah, so the Twins right now are in second place, 11 and a half back. Dan, that's crazy. Nobody else in the Central is actually above 500. But the Tigers, the Tigers, they're violating. They're violating every other team in that division, bro.
Also, and here's the funny part of it, right? Like, if you're the Tigers too, you can't rest on your regular season laurels. Whatever holes you got to fix them right now.
Yeah.
Because you're good enough in a weekend American League where they can get to the World Series. They're that good. So whatever the hole is, whether it's another starter, some bullpen help, whatever you got to do, if you're the Detroit Tigers, you do it.
Over this past month or so, I would say, things have changed pretty quickly in the American League. Because for a while, we were just looking at the Yankees. They made it to the World Series. The Tigers, obviously, knowing that they got better. Now, you've got all these other teams. You got the Astros right there with them. You got Boston, as we mentioned, who's on a 10-game winning streak. You got the Blue Jays, who were red hot as well. You got the Rays playing good baseball because that's just what they do. The American League, things have changed pretty quickly, bro.
It's changed, but let me ask you this.
Because I don't just look at the Yankees as them having another cakewalk. This ain't 2024.
I've said this, right? There's a world. Sorry, Rodney. Sorry, all the Yankee fans in here. But there's a world where the New York Yankees miss the playoffs. There's a world where this is real. I'm not saying it because I'm trying to be a hater. I'm not saying it because this ain't first take. This ain't clicks for, Yankees for clicks out here. There is a world.
Make that a hashtag, Yankees for clicks.
We should. There is a world where the Yankees don't make the playoffs, and we're sitting here going, well, we should have saw this coming, right? And what I'm saying is, I think Brian Cashman is going to do everything in his power to avoid that from happening because you're so close in the division that I could see him going, all right, scorched earth time. But you know what this little reminds me of? I want to see the Yankees and the Red Sox become a rivalry again. It's good. It's good when both these teams are good. Go after the same players. Do what you do. Don't fight it. Don't shy away from it. It's at the point where you start to realize, the Yankees and Red Sox are back. There's competition in here. And not only is there competition, but they're competing for the same players.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know what I do want to say too, because I know we did talk about Eugenio Suarez. And as you mentioned, Stefan, you brought it up, a couple weeks back before, mainstream media started getting into it. But listen, we talked about the Diamondbacks having a few guys, available on the market. If you're the Yankees and you're that interested in Eugenio Suarez, see what the Diamondbacks want to package a Zach Gallen and a Merrill Kelly alongside a Eugenio Suarez. I know it'll cost too much, But I mean, can a brother dream?
No,
Or
but
should I just go play me the show and make the trade myself?
no. But here's the thing. That's funny. But here's the thing. I'm gonna ask you. Like, what is too much? Right? Like, if you're asking for George Lombard, hell no.
Mm-hmm.
If you're asking for Spencer Jones, hell no. And not because I value these players as much have. Both these players are free agents at the end of the year. Hell no. I ain't giving up top prospects for a rental. That's just stupid. That's bad business. Now, if you're asking me what trade I would make, because I'm crazy. This is the trade I'm going to make.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get Jose Ramirez from the Guardians. I'm going to get Emmanuel Clase for my bullpen. And I'm going to get one of their starters.
Oh,
then
I thought I was crazy, but yeah, you crazy.
then I would put Spencer Jones on the table.
Right.
Then
for
that's
sure,
when George Lombard gets put on the table because now you're talking about significant upgrades to your roster. That's when you put that on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And we're talking instantly too. Like these ain't guys who they suit up for the Yankees. You're gonna have to wait for them to get it going. This is from day one.
These guys are here. And by the way, can you imagine a bullpen with, at least for the second half, Devin Williams, Emmanuel Clase, Luke Weaver when he figures it out and gets right? Now you got a bullpen, right? Like the Mets should do the same thing. If you're not playing for a Vientos, if you're not going to play some of these kids, by the way, Mauricio should be playing every day. That kid's power and gap-to-gap power is legitimate, right? Every day should be playing. Like the Mets have this opportunity. You got Juan Soto. You got Lindor. Like your window's open. Go and get some players. For all my Met fans in here, who y'all want? Because if I'm the Mets, I got two things in mind. I want Byron Buxton patrolling center field for me every day. Every day. My owner, I'm the richest owner in sports. I don't care how much money he got left. Byron Buxton would be a game changer for them. Power, speed, athleticism, forget it.
Defense, yeah.
You get Duran in the back end of that bullpen, you tell Diaz, yo, go pitch the eighth. Big boy got it for the ninth inning. Your bullpen, it goes from a weakness to a strength.
Yeah, I definitely think the Mets have to do something with the bullpen for sure.
That is what I'm saying.
I think when it comes to
I don't care about selling tickets. You know what, Razor? Here's what your argument for me. I don't care about it because what tickets have you been selling when you made the playoffs? Nobody goes to Guardian games anyway. So what does it matter? Your owner, it's not like the owner is going to take the money and put it back into the team. The Dolan family is one of the cheapest families in the sport. Chris Rose complains about this every day, every year.
Yeah. You know what really bothered me too when it comes to the Guardians? If you look back at what they did in the offseason, they got rid of a couple of guys, and those were question marks, right? Like Josh Naylor no longer being on the team didn't make sense to me offensively.
But you're trying to save money.
But the thing, too, that really stood out is look at what they did against the Yankees last season in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They gave the Yankees a run for their money. Like, right. I know people like to say, the Yankees had it easy in the playoffs, this and that. Listen, the Guardians, it could have really gone the opposite way, right? Mm-hmm. Where the Yankees didn't win the series and it was the Guardians. But how, if you're the Guardians, how do you not add on to that? I'm not saying you go out there and do something crazy or magnificent, but you take away from that instead of adding? Are we crazy? I mean, come on, but that was my perception of it.
I will say this, right? You're 100% right. But I don't care. No. You would have a point, Razor, if the ownership group was putting money back into the team. That's why the argument for me becomes like irrelevant, bro. Like, Ivan, you get where I'm going? Like, you just made the playoffs last year, and you told Matthew Boyd his 2 years, $16 million was too rich for you?
Who, by the way, is playing his ass off for the Cubs this season.
What are we even talking? Like, I don't even
Matthew Boyd has been doing the damn thing in Chicago.
I don't even want to hear this. This comment, I don't want to hear that. So you're telling the fans it's okay for us to half-ass this whatever we're doing. Josh Naylor was too cheap for you? You know what I'm saying? Josh Naylor and Matthew Boyd were too cheap for you, but you plan on keeping Jose Ramirez and Steven Kwan? Like, that's good enough? You see what the Tigers are doing in the division?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody catching them boys.
Like it's already a wrap at the halfway
Let's
mark.
go. Enough.
And actually, if you really want to be honest, I think it's been a wrap for like over a month now.
But you know what? He's too good to trade away. But like the last thing you want to have happen, and I'm gonna make this comp. I don't know if you feel like this.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Ramirez is gonna turn into Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
Where he's putting up crazy numbers. He's amazing. He's all world. But you don't care because he's in Cleveland. They're going to waste his prime years.
Mm-hmm. And then they're going to wait to the point where he's going to start declining slowly but surely.
Yep.
And that's when they're going to decide to get rid of him. You know, it sucks.
Now, I will tell you this, just to talk about the business side for a second. He does have a no-trade clause. So, if he did turn around and say, well, I don't want to leave Cleveland. I got the no trade. I'm signed here. I'm good here. Then I'm good. I can't tell you nothing, right?
Right.
We I tried. I approached it. I can't do nothing. It is what it is. But if you're the Guardians and somebody calls you, whoever it is, whether it be the Dodgers, because they need a third baseman too, because Max Muncy was never going to cut it at that position. So don't be surprised if the Dodgers try to do something off the wall, just bonkers crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the Dodgers.
I have it in mind. It would not catch me off guard.
Where I could see the Dodgers literally going to get J-Ram and Clase and being like, all right, Giants come get us, Padres come get. Nah, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
And we lost 10 games in a row, and y'all still couldn't snatch the lead from us. Now it's the playtime's done. We done playing with y'all. We lost 10 in a row just now.
But we tried to give y'all, a chance to get back into it,
Nah, it's forget about it. And so when I look at it from that standpoint,
they have a 5.5 game lead right now in the West.
And you just lost 9 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Before you beat the Giants 2 out of 3 this week. You just lost.
Yeah, they finished. That was a big series win. They finished strong.
So it's like, yo, what's gonna come from it? You just lost 9 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, am I really supposed to take you serious?
Right.
For real? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, this front office with the Dodgers is aggressive. This front office is they're willing to do whatever it takes. And here's the other thing too. You got sharks swimming. Red Sox want to do something. Not only do they want to do something, I'm here to tell you they're going to do something. They might do multiple things. The Yankees, they want to do multiple things. But I'm going to tell you this. I have the least faith that the Yankees will do anything of significance.
I don't blame you.
Because everybody talks about, Cashman's going big game hunting. He wants to go, what was the quote they said the other day? Cashman wants to go to town. The only town he's been going is Sleepville.
Right.
Enough. Till I see Brian Cashman.
It's funny you say that because I think he does something like that in the offseason where I think he sleeps like outside on the streets, right?
Well, he needs to do that now because he ain't doing nothing for the team.
I forgot what he does it like in honor of because I know he does it to like show respect to the homeless people.
He does it for like this homeless organization.
Yeah.
He sleeps in like a sleeping bag and it's like really, really like well thought out and thoughtful. But like, bro, like guess what? The rest of the league ain't playing with y'all.
That's why I said what I said about the rest of the American League, bro.
And
they're here now. They're here.
The Blue Jays, Bo Bichette's in his final year. Vladdy just signed for $500 million. You can't be playing around. You don't think they know? Man, we need to go get starting pitching, maybe another backhand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was actually gonna say that. I had that in mind.
They know.
Going back to the extension that Vladdy Jr. and the Blue Jays did agree to. For the Blue Jays, now listen, you want to try to make things interesting because you already have been doing that, especially over the past month to month and a half with the guys that you currently have on the team. But this offseason, you can't just stop at Vladdy Jr., bro.
Nah, you got to keep.
Yeah.
This is why this deadline is. If you're a Toronto Blue Jay fan, you want to see that front office go for broke. Like, you want to go for broke from the standpoint. We're going to get to all these comments because y'all in here wilding. Shout to y'all. You want to see that front office take the next step. So what I'm saying, if I'm the Blue Jays, yo, Josh Naylor's available. Yo, Vladdy, you ain't playing first no more, my boy. Josh Naylor, go play first. Get Vladdy off his feet. Let's go make a run. Like Eugenio Suarez, go to Toronto. Put a big bopper in the middle of that lineup. Joe Springer's been great, but Eugenio Suarez is 30 and 100 guaranteed with his eyes closed. Right? Like if I'm the Blue Jays, I'm going to see if there's something I could do from the standpoint that one of those fringe teams like the Twins, can I get Jax in the back end of the bullpen? Can I get a whatever's available? Like for me, if the Rockies really put Ryan McMahon on the table, Ryan McMahon, so I'm going to go play third if I'm the Blue Jays. Same thing for the Yankees. Like Ryan McMahon makes sense. Keep Brian Hayes, I'm not that big of a fan of.
He doesn't really bring much offensively. That's the problem.
Oh,
He's great defensively. He's great with the glove. But then if you bring him in, because listen, a team like the Yankees, listen, with the way they play defense, you need a guy like that, right? Well, you know how Yankee fans are. Come October, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is who you traded for."
This guy's
he
1
can't
for
even
50.
put the bat on the ball.
Right.
Yeah, so it's because I have heard that name recently over the past few days, and the defense is what really stands out for most people. And I get it. The Yankees do lose a lot of games when it comes to their defense, but at the same time, I could also see that turning quickly, where everyone hates the guy because he's not putting up offensive numbers,
So this is the other thing I'm gonna say too, and we're wrapping up.
Yeah, well, we're gonna see what you guys are saying in the comment section, and we'll be done after that.
You know what I mean? But I'll leave it right here. You know what team we haven't spoken about yet that they need to do something too? I forgot who brought it up earlier. I think Roddy brought him up. Roddy, you brought up the Phillies. Somebody brought up the Phillies. I think it was D-Rels or Rodney, one of y'all.
Right.
Philly's got to do something. Bryce Harper's getting up in age. Kyle Schwarber's getting up in age. Trey Turner's looking old.
Zach Wheeler already said, "I'm out with my contract."
Yeah, you got to do something. So what I would do if I'm the Phillies is, bullpen's been a problem. Go get you some bullpen pieces.
Right. Yeah, that should be a must. I agree.
Go get you some bullpen pieces.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Because the Mets and the Phillies need the same. Why do I think these teams all need the same thing?
Yeah,
some of them. The Yankees need a third baseman. I think there's a couple other teams that are like in fringe contention. They need a third baseman. The Mets need bullpen help. The Phillies need bullpen help. A lot of the Yankees need bullpen help. A lot of these teams,
Red Sox as well.
Yeah, a lot of these teams need the same thing. So it's gonna be like a game of musical chairs of like, yo, when the music stops, who's sitting down first? That don't apply to me because I'm always sitting down. You know what I mean? but no, the Yankees don't need a lot more. I disagree, Shrek. You can't, TD. I disagree, TD. They don't need a lot more. I think if you get a third baseman in here, and if you stop at third baseman and another starting pitcher,
yeah, I agree.
I think you did your job.
Those are the two things. The third baseman, like not only now, but even coming into the season, because we talked about it on the show, right? After the good off season that the Yankees had, because we know the guys that they brought in. By the way, all of them playing well.
Cody Bellinger's been killing it.
Cody Bellinger looks like he belongs in the Bronx. Paul Goldschmidt at his old age is still going. So they did good things.
I'm gonna tell you this:
space needed to be answered going back to early this year, and with the Clark Smith situation, I think you got to find a starter if you could.
You got to find a starter somewhere. I think bullpen's gonna be hard to get because everybody needs a bullpen. But I think. Oh, we got to get to this too. Razor just brought up a good point. We got to get to this too. The Rays have been sold.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I almost forgot about that. I was actually reading about it a couple
Razor,
of hours ago.
Razor, thank you, bro. It was D-Rels. Thank you, D-Rels. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Catcher, not so much.
Nah, no, they don't. Listen, I don't care what Austin Wilkes gives me offensively behind the plate. What he
Right.
gives you defensively is enough to where you're like, all right, if you hit 20 home runs and hit 220 and drive in 65, 70, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
First base, I don't care. Goldie plays Gold Glove first base. The offense, listen, we talk about the Yankees offense. You know the Yankees are second in the American League in runs scored. What are we even talking about?
Right.
Would you like another bat to like fatten it up a little bit? Yeah, but am I screaming, oh, they got to get another bat? No. For me, they're focused on the pitching. You know what I mean? You're focused on the pitching. They're focused
the bat should be whoever it is that you land to play third base.
Right. So if you
but nothing in addition to that is what you mean, right?
If you go out and get Suarez, fine. You know what I'm doing. You need a bat so bad. You know who I'm calling up? Spencer. Come to the big leagues, my boy. Trent Grisham, get your old ass out of here. Yo, Spencer, go play left field. Jason, you in center field. Judge in right field.
Trent Grisham. See, yeah, I agree with you. I just don't want to put that kind of pressure on the young dude. Even though he's looking like he already belongs at the big league level with the way he's been performing at AAA, but you know.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like I would, if I'm the Yankees, I'm going to get a starter, and I'm going to get in the back end of the bullpen arm. If I call up Spencer Jones, that might solve my offensive problem. Because right now, what I'm saying is the offense is good. To me, the Yankee offense, listen, you can't replace Juan Soto. We understand that. You can't replace what he gave y'all. But there's no way I'm rolling into the playoffs. No offense, I know this your boy, and I liked them when they first got him. I'm not rolling in with Stroman, Cam Schlittler, Carlos Rodon, a questionable Luis Hill, and Max Fried.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I ain't rolling. You crazy? No. Yeah. What I'm doing right now, if I'm the Yankees, is I'm calling. Yo, Dylan Cease, where you at? You almost had him in the offseason. Go get him if the Padres are selling.
You know, as much as I would like to see something like that happen, my gut also tells me that for some odd reason, he ends up with the Yankees and somehow his ERA is like 4.5 or something. I'm being honest, bro. He's gonna get a boatload of strikeouts because Dylan Cease and the stuff that he brings when he's on the mound, that's just how it works. But I don't know, man. I don't really see him performing well in Yankee Stadium, but who knows?
First of all, Cody Bellinger's been amazing. Jazz Chisholm's been amazing for them offensively.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys have stepped it up.
Jason Dominguez has been good offensively. Come on, TD. I understand what you're saying, but you can't talk half facts to me, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
I watch these games. I don't play around. Like, for example, I'm gonna tell you this, and we're leaving. You know what would scare me as a Yankee fan? If the Red Sox turn around and somehow got their hands on a Suarez. I don't know where they play him, but if you're the Red Sox, you got to stop the Yankees from trying to snatch this division from you because you're close enough now. Well, 4.5 could be gone like that. You got to go and get you an impact bat and some pitching. It is what it is. Like we're at that point now. And so
yeah,
it's all about impact for me. All over the field. I'm not a fan of you talking about Joe Ryan, right? For the Twins. Not a fan of his game. And I'm not saying this either because I'm not sleeping on Toronto or the Yankees to figure it out. You're talking really presumptively right now. That's kind of crazy.
If I had to choose two teams out of the Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Blue Jays to, come out on top of the American League East, I would stick to the Yankees and the Red Sox. I'm not a big believer in the Blue Jays No disrespect to how they've been playing. They've been playing their asses off.
No doubt.
But, that's one of those things where when they get it done, I'll tip my hat off and say, you guys finally got the job done.
No doubt.
Whereas the Yankees are more of a safe bet. And I like the Red Sox more than I do the Blue Jays, overall. The Red Sox have a legitimate ace.
And listen, I'm going to be
honest. The Blue Jays, not so much.
Yeah, Kevin Gausman's been really good for them. He's been good for them.
Jose Berrios is up and down,
He's up and down, but he's been better lately.
Right.
If I'm the Blue Jays, it's
TD, I didn't forget. I think it was if the Red Sox, I think I have a screenshot on my phone. If the Red Sox win the division, I think I gotta wear, was it like a Big Papi like shirt or something like that? I know it was something along those lines. Well, that's basically what you were saying a little bit, Stefan. Like you're not really high on like what they end up doing.
Yeah, I don't trust the front office. I don't trust their process. Right? Like, how long are you gonna piss on my head and tell me it's raining? You know what I'm saying? This
is a good comment here by D Rels. Yeah, man. I just think the Yankees fold under pressure, and it's crazy how you see these things at the high school level, the college level, the minor league level, and the Yankees, they just so happen to still go through it at the big league level. So,
and it becomes a thing where they don't value the little things. And that's why I don't have the Yankees going to the World Series. I have the Yankees, if they make the playoffs, they're barely going to make the playoffs, man.
Right.
And that sounds crazy to say because you got Prime Judge, Bellinger's been good, but like they don't do the little things very well. And so you can bring in a player, you can bring in all the power, you can do whatever, and they're going to do something because they're under the gun. But do I trust the Yankees process? No, I do not.
Yeah. I agree for sure. All right, so before we leave, shout out to everyone who tuned in. A lot of you guys are still here. One last final reminder when it comes to social media, you guys don't only have to keep up with us on YouTube, right? Even though this is the headquarters, as I always say, we are also on Instagram, which is jumping, to TikTok as well. We got a video there that I put out, I think like 48 hours ago, maybe a little longer. It's still picking up. A lot of people really want to know what Keith had to say about, his situation with John Heyman. That's available. Twitter as well. Go ahead and follow us there. All three at 27 Nows 3C. Hit the thumbs up button right now. If you have not done so, do it right now. And also subscribe. I don't know how many of you were new here and stopped by. If you didn't catch the show live, also shout out to you guys who watch it after the fact. I know there's a lot of you. We check the numbers behind the scenes. If you're wondering, how does he know? How does Stefan know? We know. All right. Stefan, any last words? This was fun. I think the hour and 30 minutes was definitely worth it. Sure. I missed you guys. Hopefully you guys missed us. I think you guys did to a certain extent. It showed.
By the way, we're gonna ask you one last time, guys. We should get a new setup. Shout out to Rick for getting these graphics done. Shout out to y'all. But thank y'all for coming. We love all you guys. You guys are like family. We ain't got to go home.
Oh, also before you say that, quick predictions. Who wins the All-Star game in a couple of days? What are we doing?
Tomorrow.
American League?
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow?
The National League smokes them.
National League? Wow, smokes them.
National League smokes them. By the way, this Rays sale, if the Rays get sold, because there was a letter of intent signed last month before we leave, little housekeeping thing, they're staying in Tampa.
Yeah, I did read something like that.
In Tampa, and the price tag right now is for $1.7 billion, which feels kind of cheap when you see what the Mets paid, what Cohen paid for the Mets, and what these franchises are going for. You got the Lakers going for like $12 billion. You got all these teams going for billions of dollars. You
say that now, bro. We look up 10 years from now, we in our 40s, and the Rays are worth like $5 to $7 billion. You never know.
They might be worth more than that, like maybe 10 to 12, because then you out of St. Pete, you actually in the market. Yeah, they might. Yeah. So shout out to everybody that's in here.
Rick says, "Who cares who wins tomorrow?" That's a good point. A lot of people, especially if you're not big on tonight, the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game, you probably feel that way.
Not yeah. So new ownership wants to go to Tampa. Yep, that's
Yeah.
basically where we're at.
Well, we
Anyway,
out of
guys,
here, guys. We will be back with a brand new episode a week from today. Next
yep,
Monday, you know where to find us here on YouTube at 9 p.m. And over the next couple of days, shorts coming out. So be on the lookout for that. And it was nice chatting with you guys here tonight.
for sure. We don't got to go home. Well, we got to get the hell up out of here. So peace, y'all.